All right, everyone, welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Rome Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming to you in the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot and state of Texas. Man, it's hot and humid. It's crazy down here. I want to welcome my man, Alan DeBay, to the stream. Yeah! Welcome, Alan. Welcome to the stream. All right, my brother, we got a lot going on tonight. It is Friday night, but you know, it is party night. Alan, something that you might not be aware of that you might want to put on your calendar. In the near future, starting this weekend, we will be going live as I normally do here on Amazon and on YouTube. But at the end of the Amazon stream, we will keep the party going over on YouTube so we can do Luna Games. We're going to be playing our Luna Games over on YouTube after our Amazon stream. So, Yep, I'm live right now on YouTube, Alan, if you didn't know. I am live over on that YouTube. Let me just take a quick little peeky peek. Make sure that I am. So while I'm saying I am, I got to make sure that I actually am live over on YouTube. But, yep, I am live on YouTube. I see me right there in the doobly-doo. So, yes, I am live on YouTube as well. I see Hope Standard is over there on YouTube. Richard is over on YouTube. Hope says hello to everyone. Alan's probably going to say hello back to everyone, to Hope and to Richard. I'm pretty sure Richard's going to be over here with us in a minute. But Richard says, "What's up, Rome? Hey, Hope." So, family times. Y'all know how we do. You know how we do, my babies. All right, so we got a lot to get to tonight here on Amazon. So we're going to be taking a quick look over at some of the tech that I have here, including this laser that you guys see right here. Sorry about that. My camera's right here in the line of the shot, but you guys know how I set things up. But anyway, let me see. Can I move that camera? Yeah, let me move that camera without dragging all of this other stuff with it. I got it. All right, there we go. All right, so let me move my camera out of the way. And of course, we got tech over on the other desk we're going to be taking a look at as well. And yeah, y'all ready for it? So Alan, you were the first person in the stream tonight. So you actually get to decide, my brother, what I am going to create with this laser right here. Now, for those who may not know what laser this is the X-Tool M1 Ultra. This thing is a beast. Let me grab the other camera so I can give you guys kind of a close-up on this laser. So, check it out. This laser right here, guys, has a print module. It has a cut module. I'm sorry, a pen module. That's this module right here. This is for your pens, so you can put the pens inside of it. And we have the pins that actually come with it. So you get, like, let me show you here. It's a little bit more difficult to do this with one hand. But you see there, you get a variety of different colored pins that come with it. So that's kind of cool. And inside of the laser, you will either get a 10-watt module or a 20-watt module, and you also have a cut module right here. It does come with a blade that allows you to cut things like leather, acrylic, fabric, all of that kind of cool jazz. So depending on what it is that you're interested in doing, this could be a really cool little setup for anybody out there. So, Alan, what will we be creating today? We got some wood left, Alan. That's about it. We got some wood. I need to order some more acrylic. I need to order some more other materials that we can laser engrave on. So, Alan, give me a suggestion. What can we make tonight, my brother? Come on now. I know you have an imagination. Let me know what is on Alan's mind tonight. What shall we create tonight, Alan? Why am I not seeing? Hold on, y'all. Let me check something. Let me test something here. Okay. Either way, I can still see the chat over on YouTube because I can see it from YouTube. So we're going to see if that's going to work. Nope, that did not work. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. All right, so Alan, what is it going to be for you tonight? Let me know what you'd like me to create tonight. Fireworks on wood. Alan, I don't know how well that's gonna show up, bro. But yeah, for the small amount of wood we have left, I don't know how well that's gonna show up. So we might want to pick something that's going to work within the framing size of wood that we actually have. I'm curious to see how Buddy does with the fireworks. What fireworks are you referring to, Terry? Are you going to take Buddy to a fireworks show? Or are you thinking about thinking a little ahead for like 4th of July? Is that what's on your mind? 4th of July? Yeah, I relate. Over here where I live, where I live down here in Texas, it is 100% legal to fire fireworks off in your backyard, your front yard, side of the house, off the top of your house, whatever you want to do, okay? So it sounds some nights like a war zone. But I tell you one cool thing about it, I do not have to go anywhere to see fireworks. I can literally just, open my blinds or walk out the front door or walk out the back door, sit out in the backyard if the mosquitoes weren't as big as, hawks or something. And I could literally watch, fireworks just going off in every different direction. Because it's almost like neighborhoods or subdivisions trying to compete with each other. So over here, they got the big explosions. Then over here, you got some more big explosions. This guy's like, oh, he's trying to set it off over there. Okay, we got this, man. And then they set it off, and Rome just sitting in the middle, just going, Yeah, they done spent about $24,000 on fireworks, and I've spent absolutely nothing to watch this for free. So, Richard knows what I'm talking about. All right, let me see if I can find something 4th of July fireworks-ish that we can create. All right, so Alan wants fireworks. Let's see what we come up with. Let's see if we can find a PNG. Alan. Okay, let me see here. Fireworks, and we want it to be at least a PNG. Hopefully we can find like something. Yeah, so bro, here's the problem. Almost anything we're going to find out there is going to look something like these fireworks right here. So that is not going to come across well as far as laser engraving. So that's why I was saying we might want to come up with something else, just to so we can actually utilize the wood. Like I did a raven for Terry a couple of nights ago. We did a lion the other night, Richard. It came out really nice. So yeah, I'm thinking something along those lines, that we could use what remaining wood we have. Let's see what we got going on down here in the comments. I'm curious to see. Okay, we got that already. One of Terry's messages was removed. I don't know what that could have been. Let me look back over here and see if I can see what Terry said that made her message get removed. Oh, okay. I see. It's probably something that you typed in there about M80s. So be careful what you type, Terry. Don't get yourself blocked out of the stream tonight. All right. Firecrackers. Okay, that's an idea. Okay, let's try changing it to firecrackers. Let's see if that'll work. Richard just trying to stump me, y'all. Don't fall for it. Richard is not trying to help. Don't let Richard fool y'all. Richard is on the hunt for the perfect blooper. Okay, Richard is on the hunt for the perfect blooper. All right, so I got some fireworks, some firecrackers here. And let me find something. How about that one? Is that a PNG? Of course it's not. Okay, so here's some firecrackers. I think this will do it. Okay, let's do these. It's going to actually give us 2 firecrackers. So let me go ahead and save this image. And clip art, going to downloads. Okay, we're good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and run this. What did Alan say that got his message? 4th of July dog. Man, y'all better be careful what y'all saying tonight. I'm telling you. Y'all better be careful what y'all saying tonight, because y'all gonna wind up getting yourselves blocked out of the stream. All right, so anyway, so we have our firecracker is what we're gonna go with. So let me open our Xtool Studio Suite and get it done. Richard, you're funny. All right, so let me drag this over so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. All right, so all right, back to the desktop. Okay, so we're just going to start a new project here. And since Alan wants fireworks and Richard said firecrackers, let's see how much wood we actually have. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Ooh wee, I said the whole thing. All right, let's get it done. All right, let's see here. Let's get that about right there. Man, I got too many things in the way of this laser over here, and I'm tripping on my cable. So, oops, I forgot to set it up. Hold on, my bad, y'all. All right, let me go back over here. Let's set this up. Okay, we're gonna go with this rectangle. Start. Now let me try marking this. Mark number 1. And that's going to be mark number 2. And let's move this back. And let's get our depth over here. So let me switch. So we're good there. We're marked. And let's measure the thickness of the wood. All right, so the laser is ready to rock and roll. All right, so let's bring in our graphics. So let's get started. So we have a firecracker. Where did I put it? Downloads. Crazy stuff in my downloads. There's the firecracker. So let's drag those over. Let's make those bigger. All right, so there's our firecrackers. Richard, Alan. There we go. All right, so let's zoom in on that. And so that's what our firecracker is going to look like. What do y'all think so far? What do y'all think so far? Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. Now the question is, will we be able to cut this out? That's what I'm concerned about. So there's our firecrackers. So let's try an offset just to see what would happen. And okay, we can make it 1. That's pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna get rid of those inner pieces. Yeah, that works. That works. Okay, so but there's our July 4th firecrackers. So let's go back and look at our different power settings. So for the engraving side of things, well, let's first choose our wood and give us a little head start. All right, so our wood, we're gonna do this at about 40% power, and we're gonna leave the speed alone. We're gonna leave the speed right there at 150 Jarvis, and we're gonna do, let's bring this up a little bit to 120 lines per centimeter. And that's going to be the engraving side of it. Okay, so now we're going to go back and look at our cut layer, and we're going to select cut, and that's going to be 5% power. I mean, the speed of 5 and 90% power. And we're also going to do 2 passes just to make sure it cuts all the way out. And we're going to do 1 centimeter that is going to lower after the first pass. So once it does the first pass, then it's going to lower it like 1 centimeter just so the laser can have a better focus to make sure it gets all the way through the wood. Okay, so we got that done. Let's go ahead and frame it up. Let me switch this camera back over to the laser, and let's go ahead and hit the framing button. And let me hit the big silver button way over there. All right, so you guys see the laser framing it out. Okay, so we're definitely on the wood. That's good. We can complete our framing. And now we can just go ahead and hit process. So you guys are watching what I normally see whenever I'm doing one of these jobs. So I hit the start button right here at the top. Then I have to go back over and I have to hit this silver button right there. And then it's going to start to engrave and then soon cut after that. All right, so if I did not tell you guys more about this laser, this is the X-Tool M1 Ultra. This is a 4-in-1 crafting machine. It has a print module, it has a pen module, it has a laser module, and it also has a cut module where it has blades that it can actually cut things out, which is pretty cool. And you guys already saw it has the integrated cover on it as well, which is really nice because that's going to protect your eyes. It does have venting built into this unit as well. There's 2 button controls on the physical unit. One is going to be for framing, which is the white button that you guys see over there. And then the second button is your activation button or your action button that you would use to start the job. So yeah, this is a very, very sophisticated system, guys. And I have done quite a few really, really good jobs with this laser. I've been very, very impressed with it. So, if you are, into crafting, maybe you have a school or you have a social group, or maybe for your church, or just for your own, creativity, this would be an excellent laser to get started with. And you guys know I talk about a lot of different lasers. I got a ton of lasers here. So I can honestly tell you this has probably become one of my top 3 lasers that I have here in the studio right now. Let's see what Richard says here. Richard says the M1 Ultra Class 1 pre-assembled laser engraver cutting machine ensures safe use at home, and it is 100% right what Richard just said, because you literally get it out of the box looking just like I'm showing it to you guys here, okay? So when I took this thing out of the box, I literally still have the box in the garage, but this is how it looked when it came out of the box. All I had to do was attach the modules. Now the modules have a kind of a dovetail, locking system where they just kind of lock in, and then you put them in, or clip them in, and then you have this little lever that you pull down, but they're pretty much ready to go. Now, like I said, this is the print module right here. You have all the other modules that come with it. This is a really, really sophisticated system. All right, guys, so we only have about 3 minutes and 42 seconds left for this project to be completed. So this should be done here pretty quickly. All right, so we can try to wait it out, or I can just run back here and grab the next item in the carousel so we can talk about that. So let me do that. All right, so I have my next item here on the desk, and we're just gonna switch to our top-down view here real quick, and let's make it happen. Boop, just like that. All right, so the next item in the carousel, guys, let me go ahead and highlight it really quickly here, is this drone that you see here. Now, this is my DJI Air 3S. Now, this is a prosumer drone. They do have much higher end drones from DJI, but this one is a great drone for your everyday flyer, or people like myself that's a photographer that's doing weddings and conferences and events, and you need a drone that can fly that's going to be reliable. This has 360-degree obstacle avoidance. It also has 3-axis gimbal. It has 2 cameras. Your cameras are a 24 and a 70mm camera on here. You have landing light built into this guy as well. This can fly up to 60 miles an hour. It can record in 4K 60, slow motion 120 frames a second. So this is a beast of a laser. This is a beast of a little drone, guys. Now it comes with this controller that you guys see right here. I'm going to also connect the controller up right now while I got it on my mind. And I'm going to plug this guy in right here. And let's power it on so that I can show you guys the simulator that we can fly with this drone. So even somebody who has no experience whatsoever flying a drone, this simulator is going to make it really easy for you to start practicing and feel more confident putting your investment in the air. Now, I admit this is a relatively expensive drone the DJI sent out to me, but if I was to buy this drone myself, or even if it was something that was sent out to me, I would still want to make sure that it's going to get back to me safely and I'm not going to be crashing into anything. But this drone also has LiDAR, so it can actually see things almost in the dark, up to 1 candlelight. So that means it'll be able to see something up to a meter, 3 meters, I think it is, and 1 candlelight. So that's pretty efficient for this. But anyway, we're going to fly the simulator here real quick so you guys can see. Here is the controller. Actually, let me switch over to our drone mode. And let's see, is it going to connect to the drone? Hold on, y'all. Maybe it didn't see the drone. Let me try connecting to it again. And let's see if we're going to be able to get this to connect. If not, we'll have to save that for the next stream. Let me try turning it off and then turning it back on. Also, let me check what it's looking at. All right, there we go. All right, it's powering up. All right, so our laser is done as well. So Alan, your little firework is over there, ready to be seen. I'll show it to you after we do the little simulation here. All right, so looking at the controller right here on my desk, I can just click right here where it says simulator. And we're going to be able to fly this. So Richard says the DJI Air 3S records stunning 4K video with dual cameras. Yeah, that's what I said before. Doodle-doom, breakthrough. Yeah. Colors, likes, details. Yep. Okay, we covered all the same things there, my man. Thank you, Richard, as always. All right, so we're going to do a quick little flight, but I'm going to let you guys choose. So we have a skate park and we have Stonehenge. We have a skate park and we have Stonehenge. You guys let me know which of the two you want me to fly. And let me go also and complete our laser and close that. So which of the two would you guys prefer for me to fly? Richard says the skate park, okay? Any more votes? Any more votes out there? Richard's saying skate park. Let me check over on YouTube, see if I'm getting any comments over there. No, I don't see any comments over there for the drones. So I guess skate park it will be. So let's go ahead and just click on skate park. And I'm just going to click on go fly. All right, so the first thing you can do here is you can actually move the drone wherever you want to place it. So I'm going to move it out here a little bit, away from the building, right out by this sign. And you guys can kind of see where the little robot is moving around from. And one more thing I'm going to do, no, then you guys won't be able to see through the drone. Never mind. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and take off. Let's just go ahead and let's just put the drone right about there. There we go. Let's hit place drone. Let's go ahead and take off. All right, so we're going to just go up. And we are right now at about 50 meters. That's where we're going up to, about 50, a little bit higher. Let's go up about 100 meters so you guys can kind of get an idea of what it would be like. So we are at, there we go, little over 100 meters. That's exactly 100 meters right here. So let me do you a little orbit around so you guys can see what the city looks like. So the objective of using one of these simulators, guys, is that it will give you a really good idea of what it's like, you know, to fly your drone. Now, the drone has 3 speeds. It has cinematic speed. It also has normal speed, and it has sport mode. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the camera down so that you guys can see what it looks like from below the drone. So this is what it would look like if we were just spinning around and we're flying over things like a building or the skate park. Now, I think Richard really wants me to probably fly around the skate park, but I'm just giving you guys a little indication of what all this stuff looks like. So here's some of the buildings. Now, I do have obstacle avoidance turned on for the drone. I'm actually going to fly over the street. So let's do that. Let's nudge this over a little bit so that I am directly over the street, so I don't have to worry about flying into a building or something. All right, so let's just move forward down this little street here. And you guys can see, actually, let me put the drone in. Okay, so we're now coming up to the barrier. So do you guys see that little barrier right there? Let me bring the camera back up so you guys can see it. So this is a point that you cannot fly beyond, okay, so far. But I can turn away from it like so, and I can fly in the opposite direction of this little city. It's not a big city. You know, it's probably about the average of like one of the cities that maybe Alan would be familiar with, you know, in Kansas or something. But anyway, you know, we can get up to some pretty good little speeds here. We can fly through. We can take a look at different buildings. We can fly down a little bit. Let's say if we want to go down closer to the ground where that car is, and then see if we can still track that car at the same time. So I'm trying to go down and track the car at the same time, but I think I'm letting the car get away from me. Nope, there it goes that way. Let's go that way now. Let's go after the car. And that car must have really took off, y'all, because I don't know where the car went to. Let me bring the camera up and see if I can see it. Let's go down toward the street level. Yeah, I don't know where that car went. I have no idea where the car went. All right, let me avoid this this light pole. And we can fly through things like buildings. You know, these are normal things that you'd be able to do with the drone. You'd be able to fly through. And then there's that barrier we talked about before, so we can't go past that building. But we could still, okay, here's a truck. There's a truck right there. Let's see if we can follow this truck. Let's see where it's going. Yes, that's probably Amazon delivery truck. All right, let's get up over these signs. There's that car we were looking for. Man, you know, you just got to make decisions. You just got to make decisions. So I'm going to go forward here and see if I can keep up with this truck. There it is. Okay, so this truck does not want me following it, but you guys get the idea. So this is a pretty cool, it's almost like playing a game in a sense, but, you know, in this case, you would actually be flying your drone around, you know, a city or whatever it is. Now, of course, you need to also maintain line of sight. So if you're flying in a city or at a building or whatever it is, you're supposed to keep the drone at a position where you can actually see it. You know, even if you're inspecting buildings, you know, some of the things that we would do with these drones is that somebody would hire me to come in, let's say this little building right here, I would be hired to fly up and take a look at this building from the top down. So I would be taking photos for the most part of the building, and I'll show you guys what that would look like. So if we were, you know, starting out with this building, I'd be taking photos every few feet of the building at about a, you know, a distance of about 50 feet over the building. And you just create like a little grid where you kind of fly around the building so you get all of the different angles of it. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted you guys to see how cool this little simulator actually is, and how easy it is to fly. Oh, there's another truck. Man, these trucks are trying to get me. Okay, let me see. You see that? Now I got trucks going in both directions. I don't know which truck to go after. Let's go after the blue truck. Let's see if I can stop talking so much and see if I can catch that truck. I don't know where it went, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna go down. Let me get close. Where did the truck go? I don't know where the truck went. Where did it go? Okay, let me switch the camera up, and let's bring the drone down toward the ground, and let's see if we can spin around and see where the truck went. Didn't go that way. It didn't go that way. I don't know where the truck went. All right, so I'm going to show you guys another cool thing that you can do with your drone. You can do what's called a return to home. So I'm just going to press on this little button right here, and then I'm going to click on this button here that says return to home. And then what's going to happen is the drone is going to automatically return back to its point of origin. Okay, so that's a really cool safety feature that is built into the DJI drones, that, you know, if the drone gets away from you, or it's too far away, or you can't see it, which should never happen, but if that was to happen, you'd be able to, you know, just retrieve the drone by telling it to return to home. So, you know, like I said, this is some of the cool things that we can do with these devices, guys, that takes the drone experience to a whole nother level. Now, this bundle that we're looking at right now is $21.79. $21.79 is going to get you the drone, the controller, and also it's going to get you the Fly More combo, which comes with the batteries. It comes with the batteries. You get 3 batteries, and you get this battery charger that comes with it as well. So all of those things are in the bundle. All right, so let me go ahead and power this guy off. Press once and then hold, and that's going to turn off our controller. And I never turned the drone on, so we don't have to worry about that. But, you know, if you guys have any questions whatsoever about any of this tech, you know, feel free to ask. That's what I'm here for. All right, let me throw that back here. Put the drone back there and unplug this controller, and oops, put this back here as well somewhere. All right, let's get to our laser project. Okay, so yeah, let's get over here real quick. Where'd my mouse go? There we go. All right, so let's pop this open, and this was according to Richard and Alan, so I'm gonna like give both of them the credit for this. So this is what we created. So as you guys can see, I can pull the wood out, and it comes out clean. Okay, you can see right there where the fireworks were cut out. Let me grab the fireworks. Put the wood back. Put the wood back in there. Let's close this. Let's go back to our top-down view. All right. So here are your firecrackers, Alan. There we go. What do you think? What do you think? I think these came out pretty good. They almost have like a 3D feel to them, because I can feel inside where the firecracker portion would be. Now I am getting a little soot on here, and I think that's because I keep setting it for 2 passes when I think we would have been good with just 1 pass. But I think these came out really, really nice. So let me know what y'all think. All right, let me quickly check my comments over on YouTube, making sure I'm not missing anybody's comments over there. And Richard was talking about the DJI Air 3S demo that we just did. All right, so yeah, let's get right to it. All right, so let me switch my main camera back, and let's talk about the next item that we have in the carousel. Now, this item, we're not going to go too far in depth with it, but I'll show you guys here. So let me switch over to the iPhone camera. And I'm gonna try to position this in a way so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Let me move this camera out a little further. All right. So this is, let me position that better. All right, so what you guys are looking at here is one of my cinema cameras. Actually, let me turn this away from that light. There we go. And let me bring the gimbal down a little bit. Okay. So what you guys are looking at here is a number of different things. So one thing that you're looking at is going to be our Sony FX30, which is this camera body that you see right here. Now the bundle also comes with a 24 to 70 millimeter lens. Currently right now it is $2189.95 for these two components right here. The top handle does not come with it. You would have to purchase the top handle separately. And let me fix this camera. Okay, so you would have to, purchase the top handle separately, guys. But I do recommend that because that's going to allow you to connect the shotgun microphone to it and also an additional XLR microphone. We also have up here, right here, this is a video transmitter receiver. So in that bundle, you're going to get the transmitter and you get the receiver. Both of these do have to be powered. But let me go ahead and switch the camera on so I can kind of show you guys how this works. So we're going to power on the camera real quick. All right, and also let's power on our Osbot Talent. All right, so our camera is on and the Osbot Talent should be coming on here in just a second. So what I'm showing you really right here, guys, is an ideal kind of run and gun filming, recording, and streaming camera, okay? So you have the Osbot Talent up here, which is basically gonna be like your OBS where you can switch to your different scenes. You can have your, your landing page for your live stream. You can bring in pre-recorded videos, all of that kind of jazz. So if you want to play something like that. Now, this camera here is going to be your main A camera. This is the one that you're going to use to really focus in on your talent or whomever it is or whatever it is that you're recording or streaming. And then you'll be able to switch back and forth between those camera angles by just, doing this. Now, why do we need the transmitter receiver? So the transmitter receiver, HDMI transmitter receiver, what it's going to allow you to do is to connect a different device to your streaming deck. That could be something like an iPad. Okay, so you could have an iPad or something like that that you have a presentation on here and you want to be able to quickly pop over and show things on the iPad or on a Mac or a PC or whatever it is. So the transmitter would plug into this device right here, and then the receiver is going to be plugged into the talent over here, and that's how you're going to get your video source from whatever that device is onto this platform right here. So easily enough, you can set it up that way. That's how I would do it in most cases. Now, another benefit that you really get from this setup, guys, is bringing in additional cameras, okay? So you guys have all seen me talk about a number of the Osbot cameras. So again, we're talking about the Osbot Tail 2. This is a PTZ-R camera. Now, of course, this one has all of the updated connection points here. You have your line in, mic in, headphone jack, you have your Ethernet, you have your SDI, full-size HDMI, you have your RS-232s for connecting this to a PTZ controller. What's cool about this camera, other than the fact that it is a 4K 60 frames a second camera, it also has a hidden feature where it can actually auto level itself. So if the camera was kind of, crooked or something, the video would still be level because the internal mechanisms inside of this camera can auto adjust itself. It can rotate inward. That's where the R comes from. That gives you the ability to, correct whatever's going on, which is super cool. Now, the bundle comes with this camera. It comes with the remote that you can either use to control the camera or to control the talent, or to control the talent and the camera through the talent. So it's basically a daisy chain type of scenario, right? So let me make sure I got some power to my controller, and let's go ahead and power on this camera as well. And I'm going to just position it somewhere here on my desk. All right, so this guy is on right now, and I assume I got power. I don't know if I got enough power. Hold on. I think, oh no. No, there we go. Okay. So now I can control the camera with just the remote, as you guys see here. All right. And the camera should automatically be wirelessly connected to the talent. All right. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Richard says we have 60K likes. Yeah! All right. All right. Y'all making it happen, babies. All right. So here we go. So here is our Ozbot talent. Let's just put it over here on the desk. I'm trying to give it something to look at. So let's look at, I don't know. Let's have it look at this box of rocks. We got a box of rocks. So let's have it look at the box of rocks. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera down and over a little bit. All right, so now here on the talent, I'm just going to click here. I'm going to switch over to this camera. So now that's what you guys are seeing right here is this camera right here. So I can actually connect. Hold on. Let me see if I can show you guys what the camera sees. So give me 1 second. I'm going to try to connect to the camera. To the talent so you guys can see what the talent sees. Let me unfold this cable and try to plug it in right there. Okay, so that should be plugged in right now. So let me try switching over to this camera angle. Is it seeing it? Nope, I don't think it's seeing it yet. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Hold on, let me give it, let's give it multi-view. All right, so you guys should be seeing the multi-view display right now, okay? So what the multi-view is gonna show you is all your different camera angles, including what other camera angle that you have selected, right? So if I was to go back over here and select my Sony camera, you guys see that the output is to the Sony camera, and you guys see the red indicator around the Sony footage. So if I go back to the Ozbot talent, to the tail 2, and you see it'll switch over to that. Or if I choose maybe one of these pre-recorded videos, you'll see how that is played as well. So you have your program and you have your preview, and I also have this set where it'll automatically switch back to one of the cameras after the video plays, right? So even if we're watching, this video of me cutting up some potatoes, this could be a part of somebody's live stream, and maybe they're doing a cooking stream or something like that, and you have multiple cameras set up. The advantage that you have here is, one, you can have multiple wireless cameras set up all around the studio, from a top-down view, from a side angle, from a wide angle view. So there's so many different ways you can set these cameras up, guys. And then, like I said, you can easily switch back and forth between these different devices by just tapping on the screen. So the advantage here is you can record internally to the cameras. You can also record to the talent as well. Now normally if I was going to be recording video, I would use another device. The device that I would use is my Ninja V. So let me grab that real quick and show you guys what the Ninja V looks like. All right. So I don't have this listed in the carousel, but I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys here real quick. So this is what the Ninja V looks like. Now this is in its configuration if I was going to be using this as a video switcher, but this Ninja portion of it actually comes off, and this monitor section can record up to 4K 60 frames a second. And this is what I would normally have mounted on one of my cameras. But because it has HDMI in and HDMI out, I could still have the talent connected to this with a magic arm, so I could be recording in high resolution, then sending that HDMI footage out to the talent. And then what that's going to allow us to do is to still stream that same content, over to YouTube or Facebook or wherever myself or the client wants that video source to go. Okay. So we have a lot of flexibility, guys, when it comes to these different devices and all the different things that we can do with these devices. So if you guys have any questions, if you've been thinking about live streaming, gaming, I'm still telling Terry that she needs to put together some social media for her and Buddy and do a social media campaign, a day in the life of Terry and Buddy, or T and B, a day in the life of T and B. I think a lot of people would watch that. I know I would watch it. You guys let me know if you would watch Terry go live, her and her dog Buddy. Would you, if they had something interesting going on, let me know. Would you watch it? I would. Terry says that would be cute. Yeah, it would be cute. I think it'd be really cute. I think a lot of people would watch that show, Terry. All right. So anyway, this is the setup as you guys see it right here. So let me go ahead and turn these cameras off, because y'all already know, if you know me, you already know I will forget to turn these cameras off in a heartbeat and walk away, and the battery will be completely run down. And Richard will be making fun of me because I'll try to go live the next day and none of my cameras are working. All right, so let me go ahead and turn this guy off. Come on now, go off. There we go. Power off. There we go. All right, so I don't know what I just disconnected, but anyway, let me switch back over here. All right. So let me put my cable up. This is the cable I was using for the drone, but because of the way I have it configured, I can also use it for the Ozbot talent. I could use it for my iPad or whatever other device I want to connect and show you guys. So this is pretty cool that, for just a less than $20 cable that has a capture card built into it, I can use it for so many different things. I don't know if I remember to, I don't think I put the cable in the carousel tonight, but if you guys are interested, let me know. I can post a link to it, but it is definitely listed over on my storefront. If you don't know where it's at, I think Richard has probably posted the storefront like, 50 times tonight. RomeKnowsTech.live, you'll find it. All right, so we got another new item in the studio, and you guys can probably see it right here over my shoulder. That is this light right here. So right now, I can never say that properly. So we're gonna say makeup artist, skincare professional, tattoo artist light that we have right here was just recently sent to me, and I already have found a place for it here in the studio. And that is this light that you guys see right here. Now this is completely adjustable. It has these flexible tubes. It also has an additional third tube here in the center. Now this comes with a phone mount, but I just attach my Pocket 3 on here. So when I'm doing like talking head videos in the morning, and I can just easily, let me see if I can set this camera down and show you guys this light. There we go. Okay. So I can adjust these arms, pretty much wherever I want them. I can adjust the camera. Let me go ahead and turn the light on. Now I just have this plugged into one of my little portable batteries because, why not? But right here is the power button on the front. Let me show you. So here is your power button on the front. This is a bicolor light, so you can range between 3,000 Kelvin all the way up to 6,000 Kelvin, and it has a power output from all the way down to 0 up to 100. Okay. Now this also comes with a remote. As soon as I find it, because I just almost grabbed my TV remote. All right, so this is the remote that comes with it. Okay, so this is going to give you some presets. You can turn the light on and off. So I can power the light on. You guys see how bright that light is? That's crazy how bright the light is. And it's at 50%. So let's go ahead and bring that way, way down. So I'm going to bring that light down to, hold on. Let's bring it down. much lower. Let's bring it down to like 10%. Oops, there we go. So that's 10% right now, 10% output from this light, which is still relatively bright. You guys can pretty much see it on my face. So for product photography, for talking head segments like what you see right here, all of those things will work. And you have this cool little remote, right here that you're going to be able to control it. Now, these presets, I didn't read the manual, so I can't tell you how to edit these presets, but I'm just going to click one of them so I can show you. So this is preset number 1. It just says M1, and then M1 goes up to 50% automatically. M2 is it's kind of a cooler. It's changing the color temperature, but it's not changing the color. The light output, right? So M3, and it looks like you have to have the remote pointed at the light for it to work, because I tried it over here and it's not working. So again, you can change the temperature of the light. I'm just pressing the little button right here. You have the ability to switch that all the way up to 100 or bring it all the way down to whatever you want. And you have the dial right here where you can just dial in exactly the amount of light you want out, which is super cool. And again, like I said, you can just turn the light off just using the remote, okay? So it comes with a light stand, and this is a full-size light stand. Show you guys here. So you get a full-size light stand that comes with it in the box. The light, the phone mount, all of that stuff comes in the box. So I think this is going to be an excellent little light for a lot of live streamers, content creators, especially, people who do those, what do they call those? Get ready with me type of videos. This could be a boon. And if you're a makeup artist or hairstylist or anesthetist, I can never say that right, this is going to be the perfect light for you right now. And this is only $103.99. Check it out. Let me know what y'all think about this light. Let me know what y'all think about the light. All right, let me go ahead and power this guy off. Oh, it's already off. Okay, it's off. All right, so let me know what y'all think about the light. If y'all have any questions about it whatsoever, drop them down in the comments. I think $103 is a very, very good price for what you're going to get for that light. So, yeah, I'm impressed with it. I easily see how I can incorporate that light into my everyday workflow, especially like with shoppable videos and, desktop photography and stuff like that, right over this desk. Now I have another light that's similar to it over there, but it's nowhere near as flexible. I can open and close it, but I can't bend it and kind of put it wherever I want and stuff like that. This light's going to give you that kind of flexibility to really adjust where you want the light to be. Just like if you were working on somebody's face, and you had the light over them and you were looking at their skin, or maybe you're removing blackheads or ingrown hairs or whatever it is you do. So yeah. All right, where did my headphones go? I got them. All right, let's make sure we're hearing everything the way we should. All right, so let's keep rolling. What do we have next? TNBB. TNBB. Is that the name we're going to go with, Terry? TNBB. All right. I'm down for it. See, Richard, I almost left the battery on. I almost left it on again, the remote. Okay. So I'd have gone live Sunday. Oh, and by the way, I will be live on Govi's stream on Sunday, Govi's channel on Sunday at 9 p.m. But I'm going to go live on my stream here before that as a pre-stream. And I'll probably have some of the similar products in my carousel. But then soon after that, we're just going to jump right over to Govi. And then, we're going to keep the party. We're going to keep the party rolling. Y'all know how we do. So y'all need to come out and represent, man. You know how we do. All right, let me grab our next item. And of course, it's so far away that I need to take my headphones off. All right. So since we're talking about getting Terry set up, her and Buddy set up for live streaming, and let me put Alan's little fireworks over here off the way. Okay, so we got two things we're going to take down to the desk here real quick, and I'm going to make it clear off the top, these two items are not going to work together. I'm going to tell you that off the jump, right? But if you are thinking about live streaming, here is a great little camera from Ozbot. This is the Ozbot Meet 2. This is a very small, compact 4K camera, plug and play, Terry. All you have to do is plug your your USB-C cable right into this. You got a magnetic mount on this guy, 4K. It has AI tracking, so as you move around a little bit, it's not going to track you like this PTZ camera can, but it will try to keep you in the frame. Now, Buddy is super fast, so you might want to go with something like one of these cameras where it can really, be really chasing you both around. Like, where'd they go? Where'd they go? Over here, over there, over here, over there. Duck, move. Woo, they way over here. Woo, they way over there. Okay, so maybe you need something a little bit faster, but this is a good talking head video. Maybe you and Buddy are going to be doing facials together or something. Y'all just sitting there with your cucumbers on your eyes, and Buddy's trying not to eat the cucumbers or whatever it is. That would be hilarious. I'm gonna tell you right now, that would be hilarious. But anyway, this little camera right here, which is the Meet 2 4K camera, is currently only $109. $109. It has this nice little mount built into it. It is magnetic. You can adjust this as well, and you can put the camera at different angles. If you wanted to, record like a desktop view, you could do that. If you wanted to move it to an upright position, you can. Now, this one doesn't have a 1/4-20 built into the stand, but there's a 1/4-20 built into the camera itself, so you can mount it, in one of those positions with no problem. Buddy would go after the cucumbers. Yep, cucumbers. I don't remember if cucumbers are good for dogs or not. I have to look that up. But apples are good for dogs. So, all right. So let's take a look at the next streaming tech that might work out for Terry's new live stream. Okay, let's go down here to the desk. So that would be this device right here, Terry. So this is the RGB Link. This is the Mini Pro. Okay, so this is going to give you the ability to connect up to 4 cameras and 2 monitors. Okay, so let's just start here on this side with some of the busier sides. You have line in, you have mic in, you have your Ethernet, you have your recordings going here. So if you have like an SD card or a thumb drive or something, you could plug your thumb drive in like that and record directly to the thumb drive. That's not a thumb drive, but you know what I mean. Okay, you also have your program out, so that's going to be what's going out to the web or on your regular screen, kind of like what I showed you guys with the Osbot Talent. You also have your webcam connection, so this allows you to connect it right here to your computer, and you could use it with OBS or a Meld or whatever other platform you want to use it with or software you want to use it with. Got little rubberized feet underneath here, and then all of the business is done back here on the back. You have 4 HDMI inputs, and you have multi-view out, like what you guys just saw me do earlier, showing you the multi-screen. You have your USB-C right here for powering this, and this is really nice. It does have an off and on switch. You guys don't know how valuable that is to a lot of us that stream, because things like, a lot of the Blackmagic switchers don't have an off switch. It's just always on, okay? Anyway, so when it comes to the controls, you have a T-bar right here that allow you to transition between 2 different camera sources, or you can choose 1, 2, 3, or 4 video sources, because you can, like I said, plug up to 4 cameras. If you only have 2, then you're only switching between 1 and 2. You can also tap on the screen, because the screen is touch screen. If you have a PTZ camera, you will be able to use this joystick once you set it up properly to control the PTZ cameras. You have your menu button right here where all of your different presets and everything, you can go through and customize those. Your shortcut button is going to be here, and this is going to allow you to get quickly to whatever it is you want to do, like recordings and live streams, and change layouts like picture in picture and all that kind of stuff. You'll be able to do it using this button. Also, if you're using your PTZ camera, this is going to allow you to do your zoom in and zoom out. It's like a telerocker, and you can also use this for positioning as well. So if you're resizing a scene or making one frame larger or smaller than the other, you can use this to control that as well. So this little piece of kit right here is $295, guys. I think this is an excellent video switcher for somebody who is just starting out live streaming. that has a couple of HDMI cameras. Now you do have to have an HDMI camera. That is the only thing that can connect to this. You cannot connect one of the standard webcams. It will not work with this. So your camera has to be able to produce a clean HDMI out signal, and you will need an HDMI cable to connect to this, okay? But if you have already a Sony or Canon or Nikon or, you know, Olympus or whatever camera you have, you know, still that has HDMI out, then you're going to be good to go. And I said a lot of people can start with just one camera, okay? Now, another cool thing that you want to add to this little kit is going to be some microphones, okay? Now, my favorite for that job is going to be these microphones right here because you can just easily connect the receiver to the mic in right here just using a simple cable. What did I do with my cables? Hold on, guys. Yeah, here we go. So you only need a cable like this, and then you're going to plug into the line inside like so, and then the receiver, you're just going to plug it in like this. And then now you're going to get the audio coming in from both microphones into the device. And, you know, if you have this set up on a table or something, you can just set this on the table next to it, or, you know, clip it to itself, or however you want to do it. And then, like I said, you're going to have two microphones in this bundle. One for yourself, Terry, maybe one for a guest. Maybe you want to bring your mom or something on your stream sometime on your in your videos, and you could both have your own microphones. These are omnidirectional microphones. Now they will pick up sound, you know, in an omnidirectional pickup pattern, so keep that in mind. But they also have the ability to record internally, so that means you can, you know, have a backup audio as well. So even if you don't get the best audio going into this device for a live stream or for a recording, you don't have to worry about it because you're going to get very high quality audio recorded into these microphones. And then when you're ready to get the audio off of these microphones, guys, that's really easy as well, because all you have to do is take the microphones, put them back in their little travel case here, and then plug this into your Mac or PC, and then it'll allow you to access the microphones, you know, microphone 1, microphone 2, and then you'll be able to access any of the files that you recorded onto it. Now, the case also is the charger case. So this is going to charge up your microphones, your receiver. If you want to use these microphones also for like a phone, you can do that. You have a USB-C connector, and you also have a legacy lightning connector if you have an older iPhone, and those just clip on right here on the back like so. So very travel friendly. The case is going to charge everything up. You can get these microphones right now here, guys, on Amazon for $179.99. $179.99. You guys can see how small that little kit is. This stuff is going to fit really well in a backpack, fanny pack, overnight bag, backpack, whatever it is you have. I got the perfect backpack for carrying a lot of this stuff out, like my Blue Yeti backpack that I'm talking about all the time. I think that, you know, for a lot of the tech that I run around with, this backpack back here is a win. Oh my goodness. We're not going to talk about everything that fell back there, okay? We're just going to focus on the backpack, okay? We're just going to focus on the backpack. Yeah, we're not going to worry about what fell back there, okay? We're not. We're just going to keep right on rolling. Anyway, so this backpack right here from Blue Yeti, this is the hands-free 2. Evidently, it needs more than one hand, but it's the hands-free 2 backpack. Now, what's cool about this backpack is that it comes with a 300-watt battery in the backpack, okay? So if you're going out, you know, Richard, if you're going camping or you're going on an overnight, you know, job or something, and you know that you're going to be away from mains power, you know, you can carry something like this with you. You can charge up your laptop, a lot of your other devices right from this guy. You have 2 USB-Cs here, 2 USB-As. You can even charge this off of a solar panel. Now, this is going to provide AC and DC power, okay? Now, the backpack itself, which is super cool, This is the backpack I use like for my drones when I'm going out on, you know, really large commercial jobs, and I'm going to need a drone. I'm going to need camera, lenses, lights, all that kind of jazz. This is the backpack now that has become my everyday backpack right here. This is my precious, y'all. This is my precious. So this gives me a place where I can, let me unzip this, and I can put my drone controller, I can put the battery pack, everything right here in this backpack, okay? And on top of that, I have expanded storage. I have expanded storage, let me show you, in the second tier, where I can put like overnight clothing, or like my drone pilot's vest, my landing pad, all of that stuff can fit in here. I have all of these mesh areas in here as well for like cables and stuff like that. That comes in handy, super handy. And this is expandable, so you can actually, you know, expand this out for, you know, a deeper flow if you had to, you know, put some, you know, thicker things in there or something like that, right? Then you have all of these little small compact pockets. You know, like I keep, you know, spare propellers in here. I keep one of my straps for my controller, so when I'm flying, I can have the controller, you know, strap around my neck, and I don't have to still be hands-free. And you have other, you know, storage, you know, areas in this backpack. You have all of these MOLLE connectors where you can hang things off of it. You have water bottle holders on either side, so you can, you know, fit a water bottle in here. And it's very well vented, guys. You see this little section, right, this little flap right here. This is also vented with like rubberized material. So even if you had this closed, the battery can still breathe, okay? So that is super well thought out. So I usually just keep these tucked up like that, but there you go. Now, when I first got this backpack and I started reviewing it and talking about it, and I was saying to myself, man, this thing is amazing. I love, love, love this backpack. But I said, you know, I said, self, I know what's going to happen. Somebody is going to say, Rome, I like that slim fit battery, but I have absolutely no use for this backpack. And I kept saying, you know, Blue Yeti is really missing out because they could sell the battery separately. And if you go back and watch some of my old streams, you guys, you know, hear me talking about that. Yes, I'm trying to fit this under the desk so I don't go back there and knock something else over, okay? 100K likes. Yeah! All right, all right. So Blue Yeti, Richard, decided in their wisdom to sell the battery by itself, okay? So let me snatch the battery out of the case so I can show you guys what the battery looks like. There we go. All right, so here is the battery outside of the backpack. And you guys see how easy it was for me to take this out of the backpack, okay? Now it has a little branding on here for Blue Yeti. It has a built-in handle. Again, you have AC, DC, power, nice little rubberized feet underneath here. You have rubberized feet here on this side as well. So if you were laying this flat, you know, kind of like this, you'd be able to, you know, run it like this as well. You know, so the battery by itself, you can get right now for $179. $179 for this battery. Now, there's also a 700 watt variant of this. I haven't seen that one by itself, but I think this right here is a win, guys. This is a win. All right, so where are we gonna put this battery? Let's put it here on the desk, because I might use it in a second. All right. What a mess. Let me put this backpack. Now, see, the backpack has no weight now. With the battery out, it has also absolutely no weight. But if you put all the other stuff in it, the drone, the camera, the lenses, all that stuff, yeah, you're going to accumulate some weight. No doubt about that. All right, let's see what we got next. So another battery from Blue Yeti that I do recommend. This is the AC2A, okay, which is this guy let me unplug it, which is this guy right here, okay? So again, you have something similar, but this is a little bit chunkier and shorter, but this one actually has two plugs right here, two AC plugs. Then you have your DC, components over here. You have two USB A's, one USB C. You have a 12 volt right here like you would normally find in your car. And you can charge this also off of a solar panel. It has a built-in handle. This is going to use the same 3-prong universal plug to charge it. This is also going to be very portable. You got your nice rubberized feet underneath it as well. And yes, this is a powerful battery as well, okay? So either of these two batteries, guys, you're not gonna go wrong. If you live in a state like I do down here in Texas where the power goes out for bad weather, dinosaur attack, a swarm of flying monkeys or whatever it is, having your own power source really comes in handy. So don't overlook this, and especially right now when you can find these things on such a budget deal. Okay, such a budget deal. All right, so let's see what else we got. So now let's get to some sexy stuff, right? And when I say sexy, I mean tech. When I say sexy, I mean tech. All right, here we go. So this is from our friends over at Govee. So this is the Govee RGB IC table lamp. Now this one does require AC power, so I'm going to show you guys how efficient these batteries are. And where can I set this up? I'll just leave it where it's at. Let me leave it where it's at, because I got other lights over here that we're going to be powering on. So let me just switch to that camera angle, and I'll show you guys how this works. All right, so let's switch over here real quick. Where'd my mouse go? Doo-doo. Boop, there we go. Okay, so here's the light right here. This is the table lamp. I'm gonna go ahead and power this guy on. I'm gonna plug it in to my battery. I'm gonna power on the battery. I'm gonna turn on our AC power, and it should provide power to the light, to the lamp. All right, so there's our lamp. It just came on. So what's cool about this lamp is that it is a Govee lamp. So that means it's going to use, the same Govee app. Let me go ahead and open the app. The same Govee app that you use to control all of your other Govee devices, whether it's the curtain lights, whether it's the, the floor lamp or anything like that, you have that kind of control. So right now, this is this lamp here. And let me find the lamp. Where is it? I have so many Govee items. Okay, so that should be it opening right here. So I'm just going to do a couple little light changes here. I'm going to switch to that so you guys can see what that little lighting effect looks like. I'm also going to switch to, I don't know where this one's called, energetic. So we're going to switch to that one so you guys can see what that looks like. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, I see what you're doing there, Govee. I see what you're doing. Here is light waves. All right. Now, like I said, this light does require AC power, okay? Richard says right now, down from $69.99, there's a 10% off brand promotion that brings it down to $62.99. That's an exclusive promotional applied $7 off for this light, guys. So let me see here. Yeah, this is a pretty cool light. So I'm gonna switch to one of the scenes here just so you guys can get a couple more lighting effects from it, just to give you an idea of what you can do with this light. Okay, so with that said, we are going to let me take care of something here real quick. There we go. All right, on with it. All right, so what do we got? What do we got coming up next? We have the newest light from Govee, and that would be this light right here. All right, here we go. So this new lamp, this is a new floor lamp from Govee as well. Now, where this one differs, this one does not require AC power, but you will need AC power to charge it. But this one has a built-in battery. It also has a JBL speaker built into it as well. You guys can see it's a much larger light. So I'm gonna see if I can set both of these on top of the laser so you guys can see them both. All right, so let's switch back over here real quick and see if you guys can see both of those. Actually, let me raise this camera up a little bit. There we go. All right, so this one is already on. I'm gonna turn this one on now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit the little power button right here, give it a chance to power up. And as you guys can see, there is a significant difference in the size. Now, price-wise, it is a little bit more costly for this, but what you get, guys, what you get here is a light that you can control the top and the bottom of the light separately, okay? It has a JBL speaker built into it as well. It's going to be portable. You're going to be able to take this pretty much anywhere you want to go with it. And of course, you know, all of your Govee apps are going to work with this. Meta, Google Home, Alexa, all of those apps will work with it as well. So let me switch to that lamp right now. And let's go ahead and do something cool with that one. All right, let me find it because you know I said my list is very long for these lamps. All right, so it is connecting right now to the lamp. We're gonna go over here to scenes and we're just gonna pick a different scene. We're not gonna go through a ton of scenes here, but I just want you guys to see. Let me bring the intensity down of the light a little bit. Now, some of these scenes have music built into them, which is really nice, you know, so especially if you want to just really relax. Man, a lot of these new scenes have music files, you know, embedded with them. So this brings a lot of cool features to the party. So definitely check this one out as well. All right, so we got three more Govee lights. So let me show you the other one here real quick. So while I'm already at this angle, that would be this rope light that you guys see here, okay? So this is very flexible. This is gonna be ideal for setting up like a movie night or a man cave or she shed or your kid's room or whatever the case is gonna be. This is the Smart Neon Rope Light 2, okay? Now this one also requires AC power. So I'm just gonna sit this one on top. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move these back. And I'm gonna put this light right here. And we're going to turn this battery around. And I'm gonna power it off of this Blue Yeti battery. Which I probably should have turned the AC on first. So let me do that. Power, AC. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna bring the camera down a little bit so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. All right, so there's that light. Now, of course, with this one, again, you're gonna be able to use your Govee app to control it. So let's go ahead and switch back here. Let's find that rope light. There's a neon rope light right here. And basically, you're gonna be able to do exactly the same thing that I showed you guys with the other lights. You'll be able to go in here to the different scenes, and you can change this to pretty much any scene that you have. You can create your own scenes. You can adjust the speed of the display of the lights. It has a ton, guys, a ton of different lighting effects that you can do with this light. So definitely check it out. Now this one is $89.99 unless Richard has found a, yeah, I know Richard was gonna find a coupon. So it is normally $89.99. So with Richard's promo code, brings it down to $80.99 with a savings of $9, guys. $9 savings on this light. So let me know, out of these three lights that are here right now, which is your favorite? Drop it down in the comments. Let us know which is your favorite light. Now we have a couple more lights. So let me show you guys. Let me see if I can adjust this camera easily. Let me just bring this camera up and over. go, camera, go. All right, you guys can almost see them. There we go, back there. So those are going to be our curtain lights back there. So I'm going to go ahead and switch a couple of the modes for the curtain lights. Now, currently, right now, the curtain lights are showing at $129.99. Let me go ahead and switch the different modes on here as well, so you guys can get an idea of some of the cool things we can do with it. I'm just going to go through our scenes here real quick and show you guys some of the cool lighting effects. Now, what's nice about these lights, you can daisy chain about 3 of these together. These are IP rated, so they can be outdoors in the rain and the snow or anything like that. And these are going to be great for all seasonals, guys, you know, for like 4th of July, for New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. Let me see if I can find one of our Halloween themes here real quick. Celebrations. Nope. That's. Let me see if I can find. Richard says there's a $13 off coupon right now that brings it down to $116. Richard, I'm trying to find one of our festive scenes. Okay, so here's our festive scene. So this is going to be Christmas stockings. So you guys see those. All right, here comes Santa Claus. There's Santa back there. Here's a Christmas tree. All right. Here's a sleigh. Here's a gingerbread house. All right, let's go to some other holidays. Here's a ghost. There's a spooky ghost. We have Easter. So we have some Easter eggs. We have Valentine's things that you can do with these lights. I'm telling you guys, you're only limited by your imaginations, but they give you a lot to get started with. Okay, so we have this spider, we have a pumpkin, we have this cake, birthday cake, we have the witch's hat. So let me show you guys that real quick. So I'm just going through these at random, just picking different ones, you know, to show you guys. Here's one called Love. So you guys can see that. We got Love. Let me see if I can bring the camera around a little bit more so you guys can see it a little bit better. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. There we go. So you might be able to see those just a little bit better. All right, let's try a couple more. Here is the fireplace. And here is Christmas bells. Bells will be ringing. Here is candy canes. How many of you guys eat the candy canes off the Christmas tree before Christmas is over? I know I'm not the only one that does that. I know I'm not the only one. So if you also eat the the candy canes off of the Christmas tree, let me know. Richard says right now there's an extra $15 coupon off for the 48-foot. Wait a minute, what are we talking about? Outside. Oh, you're talking about the outside lights. Yeah, okay. I haven't even highlighted those. Richard, you're ahead of me. All right, so let me highlight those lights because Richard has already jumped ahead. So let me get those lights since Richard has already preempted me and moved on to the next product. He's like, Rome, you're just spending too much time on them lights, Rome, okay? We need to move on, bro. We need to keep the party rolling, okay? Keep it moving. All right, okay. Shoot, what'd I do with them? Richard, oh, here they are. All right. So the lights that Richard is referring to are these lights right here. And this is what the lights look like in the box. I don't see an easy way for me to power these up right now because I have so many other things powered in. But needless to say, they're going to have a lot of the same features that we mentioned before. Richard has found us a coupon for these lights. You got 40, which ones do I have here? Yes, 48 feet length for these lights. These have an IP rating. They can be outdoors. They are clear bulbs, so you don't have to worry about them fogging up or anything like that. You're going to get really brilliant light out of these. Let me see if I can, how can I power these up? Okay, let me put them on the desk. Let me put these on the desk. Because I don't want nobody, Richard, saying that I didn't show you guys the lights, Richard. All right, so let me... All right, let me get the lights down here on the desk, y'all. Let me get the lights on the desk because if I don't, I'm never going to hear the end of it. All right, so let's go to our top-down view. Here are the lights, Richard. Calm down. There's the lights, okay? Now just let me get a battery for the lights, Richard. All right. Okay. All right, so we got a portable battery because I don't have any more plugs to plug anything into. So we're just gonna grab this brick right here and just plug this guy in, and our lights should turn on. Boom, there you go, the lights are on. All right, Richard, so I'm gonna go through the cycle of these lights as well because I know these are some of your favorites. So let me find them on my phone real quick here. And y'all can probably hear Smokey already. He's ready for me to get off this stream, but anyway, here is the smartphone app. So I'm just gonna go here and just grab under scenes, a couple of cool scenes here. So here's like a dancing effect. Here is meditation. So you have different lighting effects here. We have refreshing. So if you're meditating, all of those are gonna be kind of in that meditative thing. Here's blossoms. So you get like a bunch of different colors. Let me see if I can bring, I don't see, yeah, let me bring the intensity of the lights down so you guys will be able to see them better on the camera. Okay, so there we go. So we can also go into music. So that way, you know, I'm gonna use my voice as the prompt, but as long as I'm talking, the lights are gonna be moving, and this would be no different than if music was playing. So if I stop talking, and then when I open my big mouth again, boom, boom, shakalaka, boom, the lights are moving again. So, you know, like I said, these are super cool lights. Hold on, where is my mouse? There we go. Okay. Anyway, so you have shared space, DIY here. You have AI effects with this as well. Like I said, you got a ton of different light scenes. You have funny things that you can play here. Gaming. So this is kind of like a gaming scene, you know, where you just want to have the lights moving all the time. Here is a fight. It is fight night.
It is time to rumble.
So yeah, you know, you got a theme for almost anything, my babies, anything, okay? You can also go in and just individually set the colors. So if you want to set blue or light blue or purple or red or orange, and then also adjust them here. You got all of those features built into these lights as well. So like I said, really cool lights, easy to control. The Govee app, Google Home, Alexa, Meta, all that jazz. So even if you are not the most, tech savvy person, you'll still be able to use these lights. I'm trying to turn off some of these batteries, y'all. Okay. All right, because I could hear that battery fan in my microphone. All right, so let me put these lights away. I can't put them too far away. Because I will need them. What is going on with this camera? The camera wants to go back there to the curtain lights. Okay. Anyway, I got a bunch of Govee lights back there. Of course, we looked at all the other Govee lights here as well. Richard says we have 120K likes. All right, man. Come on now. All right, so we have gone over all of these other Govee lights here. So like I said before, guys, if you have a favorite of these Govee lights, let everybody know down in the comments which of these lights is tickling your pickle. All right, so let me go ahead and power these guys off, because if I don't, you already know I will forget to turn them off. All right, let's turn that off. And let me, oh my goodness. Let me grab this battery. All right, let me grab this battery and turn this guy off as well. And yes, I was actually using this battery to run one of the lights, in case you guys were curious. Oh, and I got to turn the other one off too. Shoot. I got it, Richard. I got it. Which is this one right here. Because this one is much easier to turn off, because it's just a button right here on the top. All right, so that's off too. We're good. All right, let's see what we got left in the carousel. So the last items in the carousel is going to be the Jackbox games. You know, you guys, we talk about Jackbox games all the time. And I think, you know, for a lot of people who might be interested, in playing games, or summertime, you're going to have, you know, the nephews and nieces and all that stuff coming over. Woo! I'm going to pray for y'all. But if that's what you got going on in your world, then you're probably definitely going to want to take a look at these Jackbox games, guys. So for $4.99, you guys can see it right here. You get access to all the games that we normally would play, which is, you know, like our Jackbox, you know, let's see, what Alan, or Alan's probably not still here. But anyway, we normally would play this bundle right here, Party Pack 3. And Party Pack 3 gives us like 4 or 5 different games that everyone can play together, which is so cool because you just basically log into the game. Anyone can log into it. You can set your own little private rooms up, and then you, family, friends, all of that kind of jazz can go into the games and play. Man, we used to have just hours and hours of fun, and this is what we're going to start doing as soon as this weekend. We're going to be playing some games here on, you know, Jackbox Games. That's right, babies. Jackbox Games for only $4.99. All right, so you just hit start like this, and then you have your selection of games. Now you can go through all the different party packs and see what you like. But we have Quiplash here. We have Trivia Murder Party. That's Alan's favorite game. Richard and I, you know, we're more fans of Guespionage. You have games like Fake It. You have TKO. You can go in and adjust the settings as well. Hold on. Let me get out of here. You can go over and you can adjust the settings to make them more kid friendly. So if you know, that's something you're concerned about, don't be concerned, because you can set these up to be kid friendly. You know, because some of the games might have a few words or things that might be inappropriate for some, but don't sweat that, because you can go turn that off in the game, so you don't have to worry about that happening. So I mean, even when I played the games here on Amazon, I would usually have those things enabled, because I didn't want to take a chance of, you know, somebody accidentally saying something that is inappropriate, and then it gets pushed out on my stream. Y'all know what I'm saying? All right. So we only have one thing left in the carousel, which is going to be these drawstring backpacks. You guys know I talk about these every single live stream. Again, these are going to be great for storage. They're going to be great for travel. They're going to be great for day trips, or, you know, short little mini camping trips, or whatever you want to call them. I like them for reusable shopping bags. Now, also, these are perfect bags for sharing love, guys. So if you're interested in sharing some love in your community, with the homeless community, the women's shelters, pet shelters, this is going to be ideal. I'll tell you how we do it. We buy a bunch of items right here on Amazon: toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, pens, pencils, underwear, socks, t-shirts, reusable water bottles, pens, pencils, anything that we think somebody that's out there living, you know, rough can benefit from, and we can buy it in bulk or in quantity. We will buy those items, and then we separate them among the different backpacks, and then we separate the backpacks amongst the community. And as we're out, you know, rolling the way we do, and if we come up on a stop sign or a convenience store and somebody's asking for help, we just hand them one of those bags, and then we get on down the road. You know what I'm saying? We just get on with the get on. Y'all know how we do. So this is an excellent vessel for showing your love, to get your family involved, get your community involved, get your HOA involved, get your school, your church, or whatever the case it is. You know, we're always talking about doing good in the world, doing good in the community. All right, so put your actions behind your words and actually get out there and do those things any way you can, because, you know, in a lot of ways, guys, we're paying it forward, and we never know when we might be on the other end of that receiving line, you know, needing help from someone else. So pay it forward, if it's nothing else but for your own peace of mind, or, you know, that you're seeding the world with more good people, just in case, you know, things would happen and somebody would be there, you know, for you. All right, my babies, it's time for me to wrap it up for tonight. Time for me to wrap it up for the night. Y'all know how we do. You know this. All right. Let's go. All right, my babies, stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask when appropriate, take care of your loved ones, get out there and create something amazing each and every single day. Be a good human. Be a good human, guys. Do good in the world. Be the pebble in the pond. Be the pebble in the pond. Let your light shine out on the community so that you, not only you, but others will be inspired to get out there and do good work. Just think about it like just peppering the pond with pebbles, and everywhere you go, there's ripples of good, ripples of heart and love going everywhere. Man, I'm telling you, we'd have an amazing, amazing planet to live on if we could just inspire 10% of that. So let's do our part to try and make that happen, my babies. All right, y'all, it's time for me to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. But I want to say something before we, get on up out of here. Make sure you guys are following my man Richard over on TikTok, because I know Richard was probably on the hunt tonight for the bloopers. Okay, Richard was waiting for the bloopers. He's like, ooh, let me hit the clip button. Let me hit the click button in case he does something crazy. I'm ready. Ooh, I'm ready. I got my glasses on. Richard just on the keyboard, just like this, just waiting, y'all, just waiting for something to happen. Say, where's the smoke? Where's the fire? Richard, you ain't fooling nobody, bro. You ain't fooling nobody, okay? Even Smokey ain't falling for it, okay? But anyway, we loves us some Richard. Richard, drop your link, my man. Drop your link down in the comments so that everybody can find you over on TikTok. And the reason why I'm telling y'all to go check Richard out on TikTok, that's where the bloopers are. That's where the funny times happen. Now, crazy stuff happens right here on the stream, but when Richard gets it and put his stank on it and put his elbow and knee in it, I'm telling you, it is hilarious. I was trying to go to bed a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, man, I'm trying to hit the bed like 12 o'clock because I got to get up. I got a whole bunch of videos to do or whatever it is. And Richard sends me a link. He's like, check out TikTok. So I go over TikTok and I'm watching, it's me. I'm watching the video and I'm just down the rabbit hole, guys. Down the rabbit hole I go. I'm watching TikTok after TikTok, TikTok after TikTok. Come back, watch some more. TikTok after TikTok. And if you follow Richard, ask Richard about KC in the Sunshine Band. Okay? I'm going to give y'all a little heads up. Say, Richard, we need to see the KC in the Sunshine Band blooper, okay? Now, that's just a very simple entry, but I'm telling you, once you see that, you can never unsee it, and you will just further go down that rabbit hole. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. But anyway, Smokey is wandering around patrolling or whatever it is he's doing. So I gotta go and feed Smokey. I gotta go feed Smokey, y'all, and get him ready for TV time. So he knows it's soon TV time. We're gonna watch some shows together, make some dinner, all that kind of cool jazz. Unfortunately, of course, guys, don't be, put off. There will be some people that come through here that have, some things going on in their lives. And I think, a lot of them feel like the only way they can be seen is to do things like what Nick just did there. Unfortunately, Nick, that won't get too far. You could have come in here and introduced yourself and become a part of the community and, hung out with us and joked with us and had fun. But instead, you choose to be, do what you do. But, most of us are still going to take the high road and the good path. So my babies are going to be doing good in the world. We will, pray for those people like that. And hopefully they will find their way over time. All right, my babies, time for me to wrap it up the way we do. Time for me to say them magic words. Peace, peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Don't forget to follow my man Richard over on TikTok, but I am boom, my babies. I am out of here. See y'all, love y'all, but I got to go.